guys, I'm Amelia and this is Dressage TV. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to get emails when I post videos, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to Dressage TV. Today's topic is about fear issues. So I think anyone that rides horses has times when they are afraid. If you are going to tell me that you've never been afraid riding, then you probably haven't ridden very much. So here's a few strategies to help when you get afraid. The first thing that I try to do when I'm afraid of a horse is take a deep breath and lower my center of gravity onto the horse. This is something that will help your horse immediately relax. If they feel you take a big deep breath, that's a sign of relaxation, and also kind of lowering yourself onto them will help them kind of just hopefully that they take a deep breath and relax. The second thing is that you need to develop some strategies for when you are afraid to help your horse through that fear. It's easy when you get afraid to just start saying, no, don't look at the scary thing, don't run, don't buck, don't, but that doesn't help your horse. You need to give your horse something else to do. So for example, one of the best things to do is to bend your horse and put your inside leg on your horse and give them the confidence to turn and yield and bend and get past the scary thing. Horses are flight animals, so if you tell them that they cannot go forward, that's going to be bad for you and for them. So the other thing to help with fear is get comfortable riding forward. So you should be able to give your horse that confidence that they can go forward, that they can, ride past the scary object, and that that's no problem. And by just allowing your horse to move their feet, you'll find that they relax. Of course, you need to be able to direct their feet so that they're not just a runaway. You need to be able to bend them and yield them and turn them and help direct that energy. The other thing when we talk about fear is consistency. So riding horses is dangerous. But the more that you do it and that it becomes a way of life, the less fearful that you're going to become. So the more consistent that you can be with your riding, the more it's going to help you to get over your fear. Same thing with the horses. The more consistently that they get ridden, the more they get used to being ridden, that it becomes a way of life, a pattern, a habit, and the less fearful they will be of getting ridden. The other thing to think about when you're fearful is to know your limits and don't be afraid to ask for help. So if I'm in over my head, I'm never one to be afraid to change my strategy and ask for help. So some strategies that you can use, one of my favorite ones is doing some groundwork or some lunging work. Groundwork where you teach your horse to bend or desensitize them with a flag, get them to disengage their hindquarters. All that stuff can be really useful so that when you are afraid and you're on your horse, you have a foundation to kind of help them through that fear. The other thing is to break it down and work your way up. So let's say that you're afraid of cantering your horse. I don't recommend that you just one day say, well, I'm not going to be afraid today, and put on some big spurs and get a big whip out and canter your horse, because that's probably not going to go well. So break it down. I would start by first, making sure that your horse can canter on the lunge line without getting tense, that they can canter alone. Then, depending on how experienced of a rider you are, maybe have your trainer get on and canter the horse first. And then when you're riding the horse, work on being able to trot really fast, really forward. And then eventually, that you canter just a few steps. So, really breaking things down for you and the horse so that step by step, you guys can get confident together. If you do too much and you overface yourself and your horse, you guys are going to end up both more afraid, and that's really not the point. So you want to take baby steps and little by little work to get your confidence together. The other thing that I have found that helps people is even just talking out loud to your horse, like while you're riding, saying, okay, we're going to trot by that, we're going to bend, we're going to look to the inside. Again, giving your horse something, and yourself too, something to think about rather than just being paralyzed by fear. So I hope that this helps all of you. Please comment below if you have other questions or other suggestions of things that have helped with fear. It's definitely something that we all experience. I ride probably 12 horses 6 days a week, and there's still times, when I get on a new young horse or when I'm at the horse show and something unexpected happens, that you feel yourself tighten up and get afraid because you don't know what's going to happen next. And having a strategy, having a plan for when you feel yourself start to get afraid is super important. And the other thing is, don't ever ignore that little voice in your head, because I have done that. And when you hear that little voice in your head that says, this isn't going to go well, this is really not feeling good, don't be afraid to listen to that voice and get off, lunge your horse a little, ask for help, because having a bad experience and ending up hurt in the hospital isn't good for you, and it's not good for your horse either. They don't like to be afraid, they don't like their rider to be afraid, and they definitely don't like when you fall off of them. So good luck, guys, and please comment if you have suggestions or tools that have helped you guys. I would love to hear. All right, good luck. Happy riding.